Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting day of talking about geometry. Today's lesson is actually going to set us up for the next, to the rest of the week. After today's activity, we will use today's activity as a jump off point for Thursday's activity on Zoom, as well as Friday's activity on Zoom. So today we're really going to be working on setting some stuff up so that we are successful through Thursday and Friday. And then also today's work is really going to help us out with our home connections and our student book activities for today. But before we get into all that, let's do some mental math. Today I have a riddle for you. Let's get into a mind frame of math and thinking about numbers and what we can do with numbers. Here is your mental math riddle for the day. I add 5 to 9 and get 2. The answer is right, but how? If you need some time to think, go ahead and pause the video. All right? And if you're back with me, that means that you are ready to hear the answer to see if you were right. So again, the riddle was, I add 5 to 9 and get 2. The answer is right, but how? So the answer has to do with time. If I add 5 hours to 9 o'clock, for example, 9 a.m. If I add 5 hours to 9 a.m., I go 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. I've added 5 hours and I'm now at 2 p.m. So the question had to do with time. For those of you who got it right, I'm very impressed that you got it. Great job. All right, so for today's lesson, there is quite a bit of things that we need to do, as I said, to set us up for the next couple of days. The first thing you need to do is, this morning, I emailed you 3 pages of shapes. I need you to print those out, and I need you to, for now, just have them in front of you, okay? You also will need your student book today, and then a pencil, and some scissors. We'll talk about that in just a second. So let's go ahead and start collecting our materials. Okay, let's go start collecting our materials and go. While you do Oh, we're back. Okay. Oh, hi. All right. So great. So you guys should have all of your supplies in front of you. The printout that I emailed this morning should say Polygon cards at the top. And as you'll see, there are 3 pages. So 1, 2, and 3. All right. So we're going to need these cards. We're not cutting them out yet. A lot of us love to get crazy. But we're not going to do that quite yet. Let's make sure that we're following directions. We're also going to open up our student books to page 187. Page 187 in our student books is going to serve as some big help for naming our polygons. If you're looking at the cards, you notice that there's shapes and that there are blank lines underneath. So it is going to be our job to name that shape. To do that, we're going to be using page 187. And today it says naming polygons and polygon and polygon and polygon. But what is a polygon? Well, let's talk about that. Let's look at the top of page 187. It says a polygon is a closed 2-dimensional figure made up of 3 or more line segments. The name of the polygon depends on how many sides it has. So again, things like polygons are anything that's really a shape with 3 sides or more. So by line segments, they just mean lines that connect. Okay? And so things like triangles, squares, rectangles, pentagons, hexagons, decagons. Those are all multi-sided shapes. So polygon is just another way of saying shape, okay? And as the book says, it depends, the name of it depends on the sides that it has. But that is not the only thing that we look at when we're naming a polygon. So besides the name, besides the number of sides it has, we also name things like triangles based on the lengths of the sides and the angles inside of the triangle. So if we're looking at the middle of our page now, page 187, it says naming triangles. It says you can name a triangle by looking at its side length. So that's one way to name a triangle. You can also name a triangle by looking at its angles. And so down below, it gives you 4 examples of how we can also name a triangle. The first 2, scalene and isosceles, have to do with the length of their sides. So a scalene triangle, for example, has sides that are all different lengths. An isosceles triangle is a triangle that has 2 sides that are the same length, okay? Something like an equilateral triangle, and even the word equal, did we hear that? The word equilateral has the word equal in it. So that should give us a clue that this means that the triangle has equal sides, all right? And a right triangle lets us know that it has 1 right angle inside of that triangle. So if we're looking at that last picture, it's showing you that there is a right angle by giving you that little square there in the corner, and that tells you that angle is 90 degrees, all right? With naming quadrilaterals, and quadrilaterals has the root word quad, which means 4, okay? And so, yes, even though they are all 4-sided shapes, there are still different names for them. And sometimes it has to do with the pairs of lines. So for example, a trapezoid has only 1 pair of parallel lines. So we've talked about parallel lines before. A parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel lines, okay? And a pair of them have the same length. So for example, the parallelograms in your book, the ones that are the long ones that are going to the side, those will have the same length to them, and they also will remain equally apart the whole way, okay? Something like a rhombus is a parallelogram with all 4 sides the same length. So things like diamond shapes are rhombuses, okay? A rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles, okay? So we need those corners. And that's different than a square because a square has all 4 right angles and also has 4 sides that have the same length. And so that's really the big difference between a rectangle and a square. We have to look at the length of each side. If all of the sides are the same, then it is a square. But if we have 2 sides that are a different length than the other 2, then that is a rectangle. So now that we've taken this really quick crash course on how to name polygons, I want you to give it a shot. I want you to use page 187 in your student book and identify some of the shapes. And then make sure that you're writing the name of the shape down below. For example, A right here, that looks like a rectangle, right? We have 4 90-degree angles, but 2 sides are the same length and the other 2 are a different length than the first 2. This one here, I'm pretty sure that if we used a protractor and measured this angle right there, that would measure 90 degrees. So this would be a right triangle, okay? So go down the line and figure out which shape is which. Now, here's something for you. If you're having a hard time, or if you finish and said, Jose, I got them all, I want you to come back to the same video. You can pause it after I'm done talking and giving directions. I want you to pause it and then come back because I am going to give you guys the answers to each one of these polygons. All right. And once we have the correct answers and all of the polygons have been named, you can go ahead and cut them out and create a little deck of cards with all of the different polygons. We're going to be using the same deck of cards for the next 2 days. So on Thursday, when we Zoom together, I need you to bring those cards. And then you can't lose them because on Friday, we'll also be doing another activity where we're going to be using the same deck of cards. All right, so let's go ahead and work on those. And then when you're ready, come on back and we'll give you the answers. All right, good luck. You guys are smart. You can do this. Let's go get them. All right, go. All right, fantastic. So I got my big teacher book here with all of the answers, all the glorious answers. Your parents also have some of these answers. And let's talk about these polygon cards. And let's go ahead and double check that we have named them all correctly. Okay? I'm going to go down in order. It's in alphabetical order. So A, then B, then C, and D. And we're just going to go down in that order. Okay? So A, card A is a rectangle. All right? B, when my watch thinks I'm talking to it. That's fun. All right. B. Now, when I showed you guys, when we talked about it earlier, yes, it was a right triangle, but there was one other thing that we missed and then we needed to add on, and that was the sides of it. So it is a right scalene triangle. And if you guys have a hard time spelling some of these words, all that vocabulary is in your student book. All right. C is a rectangle. D is a square. E is a pentagon. There are 5 sides there. All right. F is a parallelogram. G is a right isosceles triangle. So it has a right angle and also 2 of the sides are the same length. All right. H is a trapezoid. And that completes page 1. Let's go on to page 2. Page 2 starts with the letter I at the top. And polygon I is a pentagon. J is a hexagon. There's 6 sides there. K is also a trapezoid. Trapezoid. That's a fun word to say. Polygon L is a hexagon. There are 6 sides there. Polygon M is a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides. Polygon N is an equilateral triangle. It has all of the sides have the same length. O is a quadrilateral, 4-sided shape. P is an octagon. Octagon has 8 sides. And that's the last one on page 2. Let's go to page 3 of our polygon cards. Page 3 starts with polygon Q at the top, and polygon Q is a trapezoid. R is a rhombus, 4 sides. Okay. Let's see. It was also a type of quadrilateral, the rhombus. S is an isosceles triangle. 2 sides are the same length there. And our last polygon, polygon T, is a scalene triangle. There were really no right angles in these last 2, so we're not going to add on any of the descriptions pertaining to angles. All right? Great job. I'm really proud of you that you guys tried this. For those of you who tried, I'm really proud because this can be tough sometimes and there's so much vocabulary. But now you have these as flashcards. Now you can practice with these, and now you have this vocabulary at your fingertips. All right? Great job. All right, so now let's talk assignments. You're going to be working on page 188 of your student book. And so for this one, you are more than welcome to use those flashcards that we just created, or look back on page 187 if you need to. But you are drawing 6 shapes, and a lot of these descriptions are based on some of the pattern blocks that we've done and some of the polygons that we've done today. Okay? And then after that, you're doing home connections, page 99 and 100. All right, so when you're done with your student book, go ahead and move on to your home connections book. Guys, I'm really looking forward to the next couple of days of math class. We get to come back on Zoom and play some games and do some activities. Please come prepared with your deck of cards. Tomorrow we are playing detective. And then on Friday we'll be playing bingo, and I will be emailing you out those bingo cards. But please make sure that you have your Polygon cards with you for the next couple of classes. All right? I miss you guys so much. I hope you're all hanging in there. I hope you're all doing well, and I will see your lovely faces on Zoom. Talk to you guys later. Bye.